There we go. There
Hello,
we are.
everyone.
There we go.
Welcome. Welcome to Pour It Out. And last time I said it, pour it out with she and me, Tony.
She and T.
Oh, she and T. Okay, we go with that. We're still making it up as we go along. She
Yeah.
and T.
She
All
and T.
right. So it's been a week. Yeah. So what you pouring it out to?
Water again.
Oh, well,
What you got this week?
I have some red apple wine.
Oh, I had my treatment this week. So I
Mm.
try not to have any alcoholic beverages.
I haven't had alcohol in a little while.
Oh,
So I was gonna have water in the wine glass, but I said, you know what? Nope, I'm gonna have a little wine
ain't
since
nothing wrong with that.
work is over. You know.
Yeah. It's not
Hmm.
sometimes it's time to treat yourself.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Time to
Depends
treat
on
yourself.
what treats are to the individual. You know.
Yeah. Would you consider wine a treat for you?
No,
It's just what is it then?
it's just something you drink. It's not a treat. What would be a treat for me
Yeah.
would be a turtle sundae. If I
Mm.
had two scoops, because normally I get one scoop because two scoops is like a whole lot. So if I had two scoops, that's a real treat.
From Dairy Queen?
No, we have. Do you have Oberweis?
Who?
Oberweis.
That sounds
You
like
don't
some expensive ice
evidently.
cream.
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
Evidently, y'all don't have it, but yeah, it's very good. And now you got me thinking about one.
Over rice?
Oberweis. Weiss. Like
Over
Wei.
whites.
Yeah.
Over whites. I have never, I'm looking it up.
You know,
Over.
okay, they might sell the milk now because if they don't sell the ice cream there, they also have their milk is so good too. So they sell the milk.
Oh,
It's like a whole farm.
like the milkman.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Hmm.
No, we don't have any such thing as that down here.
Any such thing?
Any no such thing. No such thing.
Okay. Yeah. So I feel like we've both been super busy or whatever because we haven't been able to talk in between like this. We used to have times where we could talk. I know for my life is like extremely busy right now. I
Mm-hmm.
guess more clients. Then I started with a different billing platform.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have two that I have to manage. And one of them is really hectic. With you thought the case notes before that I had to do, man. Now these are like it takes probably about 17 minutes per case note. So I don't have many over on that. Yep, on that platform. I have like four clients on that platform because it
So
just
you don't do.
go ahead. It allows me to take more insurances on that platform. The one platform I just have one insurance. The other ones I have like five. It's crazy with this whole system of insurance and like therapists getting paneled and all of that. They're trying to change it, but it's going slow, right? They're trying to change it to where you will be able to see somebody in any state, but until you get there, you won't get paid. You won't get paid if you try and see somebody in another state, or you can be in, get in trouble.
So you don't. Do you document while you're in your session? You don't document while you're in your session.
I never learned it that way.
Um.
I learned to listen. Right, there are a lot of people who do, or they take like so. Um, you can take up to 50, like 53 minutes is the actual session time, right? That you want to stay at. So you can take those 7 minutes that you have. Let's say you got clients back to back, those 7 minutes and document. You could. I never do that.
Mm-hmm.
I never do that because it just doesn't. I don't know if it works for me or not. I never tried it.
I just thought about that because that's how my counselor does. Like
While you're sitting there.
while I'm sitting there, but she has like her screen up so high you can't even see her typing. So she's like listening to you just like this, and she's like typing while you're talking.
That's the last person I went to go see. She did that, and I didn't feel, I didn't like it.
Mm.
Because I'm thinking of how I do it, right? And there's no
Mm-hmm.
right or wrong. It's what works for you. But it was the intake session, so that's even more like detailed questions about background and stuff like that. And I just felt like she was disengaged.
Mm.
But it probably wasn't that. It was probably just the difference of her documenting in session versus, waiting.
When I see people, I put like I don't type, but I do have a pen and a notebook beside me, and I write while they're saying stuff. I do that, but I don't type it.
I write all the time. I got
Mm-hmm.
all kind of pieces of paper and I write, a note for each person. That's just so that when I do go back, because sometimes it may be a week, before I get it done, I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, this what happened. So yeah, I take notes in session, but um, I just feel like that's different than doing it on the computer.
Oh, I think it's definitely different because when you take those notes on the notebook, you still have to transfer them electronically.
Hmm.
But my counselor, she has all these cool things. She also has a notebook, like a tablet, that she writes out everything and it turns into text.
Oh, so they do have that, like one of the um, billing places that I use, or systems, I want to say, one of the systems I use. Like I could actually talk in there and it would, write it out, but it's actually longer to me because, again, I'm stuck in my way and I'm used to typing it out, right? It
Mm-hmm.
probably would help me long term.
Yeah,
I did it a couple times and I didn't care for it.
it's just a matter of you actually um adopting a new way and
Mhm.
then learning it.
That's
Mm-hmm.
true. That is true. Because I'm sure it would save me time. AI does everything now.
Everything,
And
everything.
yeah, I need to really adopt a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just being resistant right now.
It's okay. Cause when you get tired enough, you'll change it.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm already well with this new system. The crazy thing is, although it takes me about 17 to 20 minutes to do one, I'm learning so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like how to really document. I mean, because it has like the soap note. The other one, I don't have to use a soap note in. And so with the soap note, I have to look up a lot of stuff. It's not so much, yeah, I'm learning um which diagnosis and what, if you have this, you got to specifically say you use this intervention and blah blah blah, this technique. So it's so much more detailed than I
Mm-hmm.
have to be on the other way. And so I like that. And I said I want to implement it on the other way, but I don't think so. I'm so used to doing it the other way. Yeah, no.
Yeah. I like the soap note. That's what I use for my Bible study.
Oh, so no, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's scripture, observation, application, and prayer.
Okay. I never liked soap notes, even when I was in school. Never. But
I'm I'm trying to remember when I was in nursing school if I liked them. I can't remember, but I like it for Bible study though.
and I guess I say now, I'm learning to like it because I'm
Hmm.
learning more.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just a
yeah.
different way. It's a different way of how I do something. So technically, I should probably be doing the text, the speak way, because I will be learning more instead of just being comfortable with. Yeah, we talk about that comfortability, right? Get
Yes.
out of my own way
Comfort
of
zone.
doing stuff. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah. I think that, like I said, when you get to a point where you like, I'm done, you'll slowly just keep changing. The dictation is nice. Um, it's just, I think for me, because I'm so, my words are like country. when I try to when I try to do dictation, they always mess up my words.
Oh, I don't think your country though. Well, you have a little
Mhm.
twang.
A little twang.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
not
that
that you.
southern, it's
I
just a
can't.
southern twang.
It's not like you can't understand you though.
But I think when I start talking, especially into something that I can't see, I'm like, and it's like,
Okay. Okay. AI is like slow it down.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Gotcha.
So I would have to learn how to talk. I would have to say, okay, this is what I need you to say. Because down in the South, a lot of our words just start, they go into each other.
Yeah. So you would have to learn something too.
Yeah, I would have to learn something. But I think when you get the hang of it, radiologists used to do that a lot when I would work with them. That's all they do. They sit in there and they dictate their diagnosis
Okay.
and their interpretations, their findings. They're in there. They're just talking it out. And then I guess when you get used to a certain tone, then you just kind of stay in that rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, yeah. So I guess once you learn it, you learn it. You know it, and it becomes easier, like you said.
Yeah. Less with anything, pretty much, right?
I was thinking the same thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Once you do it over and over, then you get the hang of it.
So okay, you've been learning a new system with your clients. What else has Tony been up to?
Hmm. Hmm. I have more clients, so that takes more of my time, right? So Tony is trying really hard to do a Myron Golden where he's saying, don't trade time for money. I'm trying to learn how to do it in a, I guess, broader way, right? Like, so if I could do the groups, then I could get more people done in one setting instead of having to do the one on ones. That is the trading the time for the money.
Hmm.
And, that takes up a lot of my time.
Yeah.
On top of that, having to do the case notes, right? And so um, that is the goal for me to find a system to where, well, I was just talking about that to God actually too, right? Like, and this could be a comfortability. Okay, so maybe we talking about getting out your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So it could be a comfortability thing for me because one-on-ones is my, I can do that. I got that down pat. I know how to see clients one-on-one and I absolutely love it. But I know long term that's not going to be the best way for me. Long term, in order for me to get to where I want to go, I'm going to have to branch out. But I then ask God, like, is it my purpose to stay one on one? Because I truly believe that I help so much on the one on one, um, you know, on the one on one setting. And I'm not sure if He's telling me to step out and do the group thing. But I know that if I just continue to do one on ones, that's comfort zone. So it's got to be something beyond that.
I guess that's a good question though. Like, how do you know when you're being pushed into a new dimension versus um you just feeling like you need to move on your own? Like, how do you know the difference? Like when God is moving you forward, or when you're like, I'm just tired of this and I'm going to move on. You know what I'm saying? Or not even I'm tired of it, but I feel like I need to move on. How do you know that you're feeling that from God and not feeling that from frustration?
And that's the thing that I was praying to him about, because I don't know, right? I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if it's me that wants to do public speaking, wants to, you know, maybe do some TV stuff, um, or if the one on ones is where I'm supposed to be. So I know I'm in my purpose, but I don't know if my purpose is being expanded.
Because then you don't want to get out there and start doing it, and then you're like, oh, this wasn't God's will. Like
Hmm.
you have all these desires and all these things that you want to do, but you don't know if it's your will or God's will.
Well, so then now I'm reading this book, The One Thing, and that one thing is master that one thing, right? Do that one thing. But I feel like I'm doing the one thing. So am I supposed to just stay comfortable doing the one thing? I mean, I got tons of things I want to do, tons, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I also think about with like purpose coaching, like, was that me or did God say for me to do that? Because if I focus on the one thing I know that I know is being a therapist. I know that that's what he's called me to.
So then I think that you focus on that one thing and then expand outside of that. Like, all things therapy, books about therapy, therapy sessions, group sessions. Then you start training and mentoring other people to be
Hmm.
therapists, like all of that. Then you can go into speaking engagements about that. You can do your YouTube and your all that can be talking about how do you have a certain way that you go into the room with every client, or do you change based off of who that client is? Do you have a baseline? All those things. You can start talking about that.
Yeah, but I don't want to just do that. That's why I have fun Fridays like Fourth Friday, because like Fashion Fridays, because I mean, I don't just want to talk about mental health, couples, individual therapy, how I do it, but I have been. So that's what's been consuming me a lot. I've been trying, praying, asking. Maybe I am supposed to just stay within therapy, as you said, which there's a large, there's a big, that's a big range. I can do a lot
Hmm.
of things with that.
Hmm.
But I also want to do fashion too. I love fashion. But I've been thinking about that, like, that's kind of off kilter a little bit from what I do. So I might have to take Fashion Fridays off and just be fashion when I'm,
Just show up fashionable.
yeah, but I want to style people. I want to do other stuff.
That could be like a hobby thing, though. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It could
Yeah.
just be something that you just do to you're done working, basically to offload. Just you and I mean you still set prices, you know, but it's not something that you're saying I'm gonna be. This is what I'm gonna be. Um,
I want to.
if you
I
want
feel
to do
like
it, then do it.
I know, but I don't want to. What they said in that book is basically just stick to within that one thing. That's how you're going to be the best, in this world.
I and that's just clarity. That's clarity for me. Like that's been my this month. I don't think some people have a word for the year. I think God has given me monthly words.
Hmm.
So this month, my word was clarity.
Mm.
Like I needed clarity on a lot of different things. And even with what you just said brings about even more clarity for me because that's where I was. I was kind of like at a crossroads of, do I want to go back to school? Do I want to start this new thing? Or do I want to pursue what I already have and just up it to another level,
Mm-hmm.
and it just became very clear to me that I haven't even really worked in my degree field.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I move to something else
Mm-hmm.
when I haven't even seen what this career field can bring my way? And so you just saying that that one thing, the one thing that I already have that I just need to learn how to cultivate,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and to learn how to really walk in, you know, do
And
that
become an
first
expert in that.
and become an expert in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then when you become an expert, then you can teach others. You
It's
know,
so many things that you can do.
it's so many things.
Yeah.
It's so many things. Like I said, books come from it, like all kinds of things and areas. So I definitely got clarity and I'm still getting clarity. So I really need to just start to focus in on this counseling. I personally need to do that. Um, and really seek out where that's going to take me.
Mm-hmm. Sounds right to me.
But mine will be more children, family, marriage specialties.
Mhm. Which,
Yeah.
and you may say that now until you actually really get in it.
Yeah.
Then you may narrow it down, right? Like, even though I'm a marriage and family therapist, I rarely do families. I rarely
Mm.
do it. I do more individuals, and couples is my love. That's what I absolutely really want to do, the couples piece, like more so than anything, and seminars, and grow it, um, grow it out. And that's what I was talking to God about, like this morning. If I could do anything, but then I do like working with my individual people too. I
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's the people that I have that I like, right?
You just love people.
I don't
You
know.
do.
I like to help people. I think that's
Yeah.
different than loving people. I try and love people.
Well, you wouldn't be able to help them if you didn't love them, though.
Yeah, I guess when I think about love, I think I have to have a love. I have to have
Mm-hmm.
love inside of me. Yeah, if this is something that I'm doing and I, really enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it might not be, deep, a deep love,
Mhm.
like how you would have a love for your husband or, things like that. But it is like an admiration for that person, even taking the step to get help.
It's the love is for me to see them healed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that is love then, because I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to see them in the same space. I love to see them grow and even to blossom, right? Go on to do whatever it is they have been purposed to do
You're
once they get
passionate about
healed.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is my passion. Um, so if I could, but I guess if I okay, so even in the one thing book, it says that you can have, like, you want to narrow the one thing down even to another one thing, right? So narrow it down as much as you can to know that that's the one thing. So if I had to narrow it down to one thing, it would be couples. If I couldn't do anything else, it would be couples work. It would be writing books of, uh, and just in my own way, because there's a lot of modalities that you can use, right, for couples work. Well, not a lot, but there's about 3 4 that are popular. Not that they don't resonate with me, but honestly, the best way to me that I have served my couples is with the Holy Spirit, like going in there with the Holy Spirit and having the base of knowledge that I have. And that's not to say you don't study and learn more, because you should, right? But
Mm-hmm.
mm, I just think that how I would do it would be different than what's out there.
Right. And that's what makes you marketable. That's what makes you appealing. That's what makes people want to come after you. That want Because if you're doing something, and especially if it's working and it's different, people are going to want to come to that.
Mm.
I think my one thing, if I had to narrow my one thing down, In counseling,
Children.
that would be it.
Children.
That would be it.
Hmm.
I just love children. I love um because I see how children can be broken and how innocent they are. And if you don't heal, sometimes if you don't heal the child, then they become a grown child. And then you
There's
still
a
got
lot of
to,
them out here.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Hmm.
So if I could be the one to have an impact on a child and get a child to heal, I feel like I'm just setting them up for a totally different path in life.
I agree. I agree with that. I think that so fits you. The children, and they gravitate towards you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
children just love you, and so to me, like that, I'm glad that you are choosing to really just dig into the counseling space, because I think that that's where you're gonna be. You're gonna really blossom.
Thank you. Thank you. I think I'm just nervous because it's totally different. Even though you have a degree in it and you do all these papers, real life application is so different.
That's where your power comes from. Don't get me started.
Oh, go ahead and get started now. Let's crank up the engine.
That's
Let's
Friday.
go.
That's Friday. That is
Oh,
Friday. Hmm.
it's Friday. I thought it was tomorrow. I was so excited.
Oh no, it's Friday.
Man, I was ready.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my package to arrive. So it's saying tomorrow, and
Okay.
it better be here because it's gonna align. It's gonna align. Yeah,
Everything's gonna be fine.
yeah. Website is not ready yet, but we're just gonna do some. I'm gonna do what I have to do. That's all. I
It keeps
I'm
fine.
in this season. What I am learning. Look, things are gonna come up.
Yes.
And guess what? You have to know how to deal with it. It's real life, right? Life don't stop. You
Life
just
does not
continue to
stop.
do what you're supposed to do. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue to show up like I'm supposed to show up, and it'll be fine.
It will be fine. And I think that when you get to a place in life like that, like you're saying, where you just say, I'm going this way, and I know just the fact that I'm going this way, there's going to be adversity, but I'm just going to keep going because
Yeah.
I know that the end result is going to be something great.
Yeah. If I haven't seen that from the end of 2023 till now, that's one thing that I know, right? Adversity is going to come. You're going to have to dig your heels in, and you're going to have to keep on going. You keep going.
Absolutely.
Don't let it stop you.
No, you can't let it stop you because the minute you let it stop you, then everything that's purpose on the inside of you dies when you stop. So you can't stop. You
Hmm.
have to just keep going. You have to keep pursuing. You have to keep walking in that direction and just know that I might not be able to see it right now.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I started this for a reason and I'm gonna continue.
Yep.
And all along the way it's gonna become clearer and clearer.
Absolutely. And the power is going to show up the more I walk in it.
Yes, I think that's why that scripture says his strength is made perfect through our weakness. Through our weakness.
Hmm.
So that through is a it's like a dash, like it's a space there. And that is all that he is showing up all through that dash, all through that space. He's showing up.
And that makes me think when you said dash, from the time we're born to the time we die, all through that, right? He's showing up even
He's
when
showing
we
up.
don't know him yet. Because I remember when I hadn't accepted him into my life yet, he still showed up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's always there.
Hmm. So how are you going to with the counseling? How do you feel you're gonna, start with that? Like, what are you gonna do?
Well, um, my daughter's school I'm already substituting there. So I interact with the children in ways more than just sitting there like, okay, get your work done. I'm walking up to them. I'm asking them how their day is going. I'm, digging in if they, expound and tell me I don't feel good today, or my mom said this to me today, or my mom, oh well, I'm very sorry that, just being very empathetic and understanding. So I feel like I'm practicing it already in that particular way.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also let her school know, like, if a counseling position comes open, let me know.
And okay, so you're thinking in the schools, because I'm thinking that you already have the ground set. The students are there. You just need to let them know what you're going to be doing. They have insurance. I'm available.
Yeah. And I think that, so I'm thinking about doing the school first just because I want to get that practice. I want to get that, in a controlled setting, basically.
Hmm.
And then when I get my foundation set, I do want to start a private practice.
Okay.
And I do want to and then I can still, the students that I have there, if I feel like they need something outside, instead of outsourcing them to a different counselor, they can come to me outside of
And
school.
they know you already.
They already know me, right?
Oh yeah, because you already have the degree. So I'm just believing that a position is going to open up.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
I received that. I received that. This is definitely the season um for expansion. Maybe that'll be the word for the year, expansion. For me, expansion.
Well, it's already happening for me. So
Yeah.
yeah, I can clearly I can see that being a season of expansion.
I need to write that
It's
down.
it's a it's a season of a lot of things. Like, to be honest, a whole lot of things. Um, but expansion is definitely one of those.
Yeah, I'm writing it down now because I'll be like, what did I say? How did that make sense with that? And
Hmm.
January has been clarity. I gotta figure out what word he's gonna lay on me for February because um, February is tomorrow.
I mean, January should have been quick. How about that? That should have been the word. We just came in to January, and here it is. Tomorrow is February.
I totally feel like I was just telling you Happy New Year.
That's what I keep saying. I said, we just said it yesterday. It just seemed like we said Happy New Year, and here it is, February. So if that's any indication, yeah, if it goes this fast, I've never seen a year, I've never seen a January go this fast. Never,
No, I
never.
don't. And I think that that's why I was struggling at the beginning of the year and the month to like really settle in. And I'm realizing it was hard because it just came. It was like boom, 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 boom. It's
Mhm.
been going like a locomotive, like just going. And so I think that for me, that has been and you have all these goals, like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And then it's like, wait, I didn't have time.
Mhm. Mhm.
I didn't have time. So I feel like even the stuff that I told myself I was gonna do this year, like I've already had to text some people and say, I'm sorry. I know that I made that commitment, but that was last year and I'm really feeling the shift.
Mhm.
And I apologize, but I'm not going to be able to continue that. Like, even with my book club, I'm sensing that I'm going to shift out of that
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
because I'm reading like 3 and 4 books right now.
Mhm.
I'm just, and it's so hard for me to take that time out to devote to a book club when, like, right now, I don't even know, I'm picking up what I need to, but I don't know if I'm picking it up well enough to then now go back and do a book club because I'm focusing in so many different areas right now.
Well, that's when you go to that one thing, right? What is your one thing? And one thing
Mm-hmm.
for sure is now your Sundays, right? Your Sunday's word. And so if anything else, even if you can't do this, I definitely will understand. Guess what? You have to do what you're called to do.
Oh no, we're not like we listen because we
I'm just saying.
no, 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 because see, we might not talk, and I'll be like, "Oh my god!" And so I love having this time because we have been so busy. And it's so good because we've been busy doing good things.
Yeah.
And so I think that this makes us stop,
Mm-hmm.
and it
It,
refines and it hones in on that friendship. We're
mm-hmm.
checking in, we're helping other people because they're seeing how we talk to each other as friends, and it's really, I love it. And so, no, this is too fruitful in my life for me to stop.
I agree with that. I do agree. But what I'm saying is, like, the one thing that I think, I believe that is God is for sure on Sundays now, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I love
Yeah,
that.
exactly. So I mean, and I don't know, maybe he's preparing you for something else because now it's like two separate well, this is not a podcast, but two separate things that you are not podcast yet, but this is it's two things that you are on, right? Two
Mm-hmm.
stages that you're
Mm-hmm.
on. And so
Mm-hmm.
no telling what he's doing with that.
No, and both are very, like I said, because this is friendship, right? It's friendship, it's growth, all those things. And then, so I'm growing in that way, is what I'm saying, in the area of friendship by just doing this. Sitting down,
It's
having
true.
conversations,
Mm-hmm,
checking in, all that stuff. But I'm also on Sundays, that's about marriage,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and me learning how to just sit back and give Jane, because I can't be on the camera like, "Duh, duh." I could, but I really try to be very respectful, and it's teaching me a lot of patience. So that's wife. It's teaching me how to be a better wife.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, we're being stretched in good ways, but it's stretching us to give to others. Because my word
Yeah.
for the year is servanthood. I
Yeah,
don't,
you did say
I
that.
don't think
Yeah.
that's the word. Being a servant, basically, right? Just
Yeah.
being a better
Servanthood, yeah.
servant. Yeah, I know servanthood, but I don't like that hood part. So being a servant, and whatever that looks like. I just last night, like, I had such a talk with God, and I know the money is gonna come. Whereas before I was so focused on, like, how do I get this so that I can make this amount and blah blah blah. And it's not even about that. Although yes, I need the coinage, but it's not about that. It's about me really in the end. I want to hear him say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." That's it, right? And so I heard somebody say that comes with benefits. So I'll take the benefits, right? Like working a job. Give me the good benefits, right? I will take,
Right.
but that's not the goal any longer. And I don't know what shifted. It seems like that shifted last night when I was talking to him, because before that, I was like, I need to figure out how I can get this coinage, right?
Right.
And I'm not feeling that right now.
It's so funny you would say that. I literally had that conversation with James this morning in the car, and I
Mm,
was talking to him about, like, um James, like, right now in this season, it's really about just fulfilling your purpose, getting in your purpose, doing exactly what you're supposed to do. And I told him this morning, I said, and the money is going to come.
mm-hmm,
Like, that's like secondary. Once
mm-hmm.
you get into what you really are supposed to be doing, I truly believe that finances are secondary.
Because I will say, like, my mentor Myron Golden, I'm just speaking it to existence, right?
Amen.
How he
Yes.
says, like, when you really look at the scripture, seek ye first, right? That's what he says. Seek him first. If you seek him first and his righteousness or rightness, then all other things shall be added. So he knows what we have need of, right? He knows that money is something that we have need of. Why wouldn't he give it to you if you are taking care of his business?
Mm,
So that is my focus. And maybe that came with the word servant, right? Knowing that serving is to help somebody else. And as I help somebody else, the given it shall be given.
mm-hmm.
All these scriptures just keep popping into my head.
Yes.
Hmm.
That's because you had a conversation with him last night.
Baby, I was in tears. Like, he broke me down. Like I was broke down. Like I hadn't had one of those in a long time. It was like a real heart to heart conversation. Needed, much needed, right? And he gave me a word, like, just do what I have called you to do. You don't have to.
I'm
Hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm about due for one of them as well. When I was just in the kitchen cooking, I heard him say, I'm ready to have a conversation with you. And I was like, okay, let's talk. And he's like,
Not like
not
that.
like that.
No.
Not like that. Like, nope.
Yeah, I literally was up for, I believe, and I think it was like from like 3 to 5 o'clock, and in tears for I don't know how long, but like tears. I'm talking about the sobbing tears. I couldn't,
Yeah.
and I was trying not to wake up Tyrone. Right, like that's a crazy thing. Like when I worship like that, and I'm laying in the bed worshiping. Right now, he over there snoring, so I was good. Right, but I've never let him see me in that way.
Oh, really?
He's seen me worship, but he's never seen me worship like that.
Do you not want him to see you that way?
No, because first of all, I don't know if he understands. You know, so we're at different, levels spiritually. I
Mhm.
know he loves God, has a relationship with God, but I don't know if he would understand that.
He's not the depth of it.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Right.
The depth of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The depth. Right. He
Yes.
doesn't um I don't think that and that's just me. That's me assuming. I shouldn't assume, right?
Mm.
But I'm assuming right now because that was me and God time right there. That's just how I felt. I was like, this is just me and you. I didn't want him to, even if he woke up, to console me, none of that, because I needed
No.
to get it out. I needed to
Yeah.
be able to go in, and that's what I went in, coach. I went in like, whoo,
He
baby,
put you in the game.
yeah, man. Look, I was like, dang, I ain't had one of these in a long time.
Hmm. I think that, it's good to have those personal conversations with God, though.
Hmm.
And like you're saying, it's not for anybody. To be honest with you, when I'm there, I don't want anybody to interrupt me because I feel like if you touch me, his presence is gonna leave. Like I just need to be in that space with him by myself because I just feel like it's just so I don't know. It's a great feeling. It's a great
You can feel
space.
it. You can
You
literally
can
feel
feel
it.
it.
Yeah, literally, like I felt like Moses. When Moses couldn't see him, because I had to put my hand over my face, and I've had that several times, and I just feel like he literally was right there. Like you can't
Yeah.
see, right? So I had to cover my face.
I just when I get like that, I just almost it feels like a warm blanket is on me. Like just and it's just but I can feel it's like it's like how you be like, is somebody there? Like that's exactly how it feels to me. Like he's there, but you can't see him. He's there though.
You can feel him though.
You can feel him.
Yeah, you can feel the presence, right? Like I know. Yes, I know this morning. I know for a fact. And when he starts speaking to me, I always get, and I feel myself. Whew, it's just like it's hard to explain.
Hmm. I totally understand.
It's just the presence that I don't know how people wouldn't want that.
Ooh. It's so comforting and so welcoming. And it's just so like, oh, you know, I know exactly. So let me ask you this. When you were like in the Jehovah's Witness faith, did you ever experience his presence in that way?
Never. There was no, it was cold. It's like a cold spirit. It's not a warm spirit.
Yeah.
In fact, I didn't feel no spirit.
Yeah.
Not no good one
Yeah.
anyway.
Oh yeah. I get what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah. No, it was no there was no connection. There was no connection with God. It was all law, right? Like you followed this, this and that, and it was no bond. Like I didn't feel like God was my father
Mm-hmm.
at all. You know, it's just I'm told to do this. If you don't do this, then this is gonna happen to you. So
And when that's the case, you always I'm still here. I'm flipping the camera. Um, go check on my baked potatoes. But
mm,
when it's like that, it almost feels like if you do anything wrong, he's gonna punish you. And why would you want to be connected and close to something that's gonna make cause you like pain?
yeah, yep,
But when you get out of I feel like when you get out of religion and
yeah.
you step outside of that religion and that law, like you're saying, um, I think that it becomes it becomes more about him
Oh
and
yeah.
you.
I've never, without once being saved, like accepting him in, then I knew who God really was. Before that, I knew the things I was supposed to do, right, or told to do. I didn't know God. I knew what I was taught.
Yeah. And you never had that time, like you're saying, to step outside of that and explore him for yourself.
Mm-mm. So that's why I believe whatever happened happened. I was supposed to get to this place, like um, sometimes having to be alone, but not alone because then I learned who he was in a different way. When you feel like you alone, right? Outcast, don't have anybody, you're gonna reach for somebody, and he knows that, right? If
Mm-hmm.
nobody else is there, yeah, now you're open, and now I can come in because that's when you're looking for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've had some of the best experiences with him because I was alone for a long time.
But that's how I feel like he needs us. He needs us to get to that place sometimes. So that
Hmm.
we just completely turn our backs to the wall and just just surrender.
Exactly. Yep.
And
Yep.
that's when he shows up. And then once you get that feeling, all you need is that feeling one time for you to
Hmm.
know, oh, okay, I like the way this feels and I want to feel this more often. And then that's when the relationship starts.
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking with the word servant. Now I'm thinking about that word, right? Like servant means that I have to have there's somebody that I'm serving.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm getting to know God in a different form, different way than I ever have. As a servant, like I'm dependent upon Him, more so than ever before. But it's different because as I serve people, like I just really I depend on Him. I don't know what they need, He does. And so that's my prayer. Like, for you I'm just the vessel, speak through me. And yeah, it's just a different season. It's different. It's a different um part of him that I'm learning.
And that servant, being a servant is very humbling because it's not about what you think someone needs.
Hmm.
It's about what he knows that they need.
Hmm.
And then you saying, okay, I think they need this. And so I'm doing all these things. I'm doing all these things. That's not servanthood. That's not being a servant.
Hmm.
A servant is literally meeting the need of someone else when you're called to that. And
Yeah.
that right there is very trying. It is very it's very humbling because a lot of times we have to step outside of ourselves to truly fulfill the role of being a servant.
Hmm. And that's literally how I show up to my sessions or prior to. I'm praying, asking him, what do I need? It be I girl, I'd be mind blown Sometimes he'll have me write something down, or maybe it's me that writes something down. I have no clue why I wrote it down. I'm thinking that this is where we're going to go, right? And literally, I just had this last week. Oh, the couple I love, right? And so we start talking, or they start talking. Every point I wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
I said, y'all already talking about it. That's how he confirms it with me, right?
Yeah.
That's how he lets me know. Yep. Mm-hmm. I told you this. You yielded to me. It's I think when I first started doing therapy, I felt like I knew, it was one of those things when you start learning, it's like not trying to be prideful, but feeling like, yes, I helped them. Yeah.
Yeah, you excited
Mm-hmm.
and
And
motivated.
exactly. And now it's like I know it was not me in and of myself, right? That's why I always get a Holy Spirit credit because, and I tell those who are receptive to, like that, because I don't speak to everybody, with God, this, God, that, whatever, right? But I come into the session with God. They
Mm-hmm.
may not know it, but I do.
Oh
So,
yeah.
yeah, it just confirms. It's just his way of confirming. Yeah, you heard me, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
And very humbling. I mean, that's another word for me for this year, unfortunately. It's a humbling place. It's such a humbling place, but um it's all for a reason, It's all for a purpose, that everything is so strategic. He's so strategic with everything where we are, you know. I don't have my mother in my life, so I'm here with my mother-in-law, right? And sometimes I have to care in a sense where I'm listening out for her to hear, is everything okay? And and so it's just weird how this is happening, but I also know that it is him. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to embrace it as much as possible, much more than the beginning of this year. Yeah, I'm embracing
Yeah.
it.
And you've seen a difference.
Mm,
You've seen a difference because you know what? Your mindset changed. And when you have a change in your mentality, it then impacts your reality.
hmm. Yeah, yeah. I said, I mean, I gotta be here, right? So since I have to be here, then just get all that he has for me.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? It's something he's trying to get to me.
Mm-hmm.
So why go around it or spend this time, right? And then end up leaving, and then you're gonna have to get it from somewhere else because where I sent you, you didn't get it. Baby.
Now you
That
gotta.
I don't want to do. I don't want to do it.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And God is like so petty sometimes.
Petty boots.
That's the only one I can think of. He is so petty because you could think, okay, I beat him this time. Like I'm, I'm going forward, and then it's like God is like, oh, you thought so, huh? Here,
He,
let me.
he was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
So this did happen, right? You did get to that next stop, but you gonna get it here,
Yeah.
you know. Since you ain't want to do it there, and because this next stop, look, I don't need. I look. Just send me all the stuff I need to work on right now. Like that's where I'm at. If I gotta take a heavy load where I feel like I'm weighted down, do it
Right.
now.
I'm
Do it
okay with
now. Let me
right.
do it now. Cause I just want to get in and enjoy. I really do. I want to get in and enjoy. And I hope that that's the way it turns out. Probably not. But I want to get my test out the way.
But it's just gonna be more tense.
I know. It honestly, it's never ending
It's
because we're always growing. We're always growing, right?
never. learning.
It'll just be a different test.
It'll
So
be a different test, right?
yeah, yeah,
So in this season, you just have to look at the tests that are being presented and know that you are prepared. And I think that's a good thing because even with our children, we tell them all the time, you don't want to get held back, do you? Well, then you need to go to school and listen. Your teacher telling you things, but we need to listen to God because
mm-hmm.
we're gonna be held back if we don't.
Yeah, yeah,
You know.
yeah, yeah.
So and then it's like when you arrive and when they pass, just like with them, if they pass third grade, they go to fourth grade. So that's the same with us. We pass one level, we go into another one.
Well, can I skip a grade? Cause there is such a thing, right? Like, do they still do that? Skip you?
I don't think life works that way.
It work in school, so it don't hurt to ask. Let me skip over.
That might be what you need to talk to him. No, because if you skip, then you're gonna miss something.
I'm gonna have to come back. Oh Lord, no.
You're gonna miss something. No matter if it's, you know, like intellectually, you might be smart enough to move on. But mentally or socially, emotionally, you might not be ready. And so that might be something that you might have to learn, and now you want to skip it. And now you don't know why you're showing up in the next season of your life not fully prepared.
That's true, right? And that is another thing that I'm learning to just embrace. Like, you know, learning to slow down instead
Yeah.
of always wanted. I saw one of my Facebook friends, she had instant gratification versus delayed gratification, right? Well,
Yes, I love
delayed is
that.
actually better, right? It
Yes.
takes us so many more things than instant gratification. And that's where I'm trying to really be. I'm trying to learn in this world of instant everything, right? Everybody wants it instantly. That I'm really trying to learn that delayed gratification and to really just get what is for me in this time. Get it now, right? Because he's trying to teach something. He's teaching a whole lot, So just get it because you have its need for it on down the line.
My locks taught me delayed gratification
Mm. Yeah,
because they look nothing like how they looked when I first started this journey.
that's funny when I see people grow locks, right? Like in the beginning, they got them baby things. I'd be like, that's so ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's even with growing hair, right? You got the short stage, and me back in the day, I used to be able to grow a bob, and now, yeah, I can't make it. I never make it to bob length. So I just bought a wig, right? So I don't really have to, right? But that's the instant gratification part, right? Because I know I'm going to end up cutting it off anyway. So I just rather have a wig I can throw on that looks like my own hair. That's just me,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, you absolutely right. Like them people with locks in the beginning, I'd be like, ugh, that is so ugly. Oh my goodness. But
Mm-hmm.
then when they grow out and get full and long, like wow, that's crazy that's the same hair that you have now.
Mm-hmm. And you just need something, and this, you need something that you can lock in on. And for me, I needed something very visual, so that because then I began to see life that way. I began to see life as a process, you know, and that you just don't, especially with my daughter, like she's just not gonna get it like that. And if she doesn't get it like that, then I don't need to be upset with her because there's areas in my life just not getting like that. Like it took time.
To train it, right? For it to actually grow, to get healthy. It's a whole lot to that.
It's a whole lot. And I think that is one thing.
Ooh, you should teach on that.
Yes.
Yeah,
It is, I think that's
that,
the one. Yes, that's the one thing that parents really struggle with. And I told my husband one night because we were frustrated. And I said, we're making it seem like she's supposed to know. But did we teach it to her?
Mm, mm.
And then if we allow her the time to get comfortable enough in it to do it on her own.
That's why you're learning so much about from your daughter because of your ministry, right? Your that's that you're working with these kids. That's exactly why. You can see it. Like I see the parallel
Mm-hmm.
because you're gonna have them. You're gonna have them even older than her, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have a wide range of kids that you have to work with, and you got to start. Ministry starts at home.
Oh, that's the first ministry. So she's
Hmm.
constantly, and like I said, it's frustrating when something hits me because I'm like, I'm just a terrible parent. That's the first thing I will go to. But I'm starting to walk out of that and be like, no, this is just something that you've been enlightened.
Hmm.
It's just another level. It's just
Hmm.
something else that it's time for you to get tested on. And if you fail to test the first time, it's okay.
Hmm.
Because that means you just need to go back, do some studying, review some things, and then you're gonna have it. And then
Yeah.
you start implementing.
Hmm.
You have to be your coach first before you can coach somebody else.
Baby, say it, say it, and I've been doing a whole lot of coaching of myself,
Yeah.
a whole lot, right? Like, yeah, how can you coach somebody else if you're not coachable yourself, right?
Oh,
If you're not coachable, how do you expect somebody to want to sit up under you, but you're not willing to invest in yourself enough to sit under somebody else?
here we go. Humility, servanthood, all around. Just it just came all the way back around. You have to humble yourself enough to sit under somebody else and be submissive.
Yeah, because you know what? You can sit under somebody and not be submissive.
And it's not gonna work. You might as well get up and go. Because if you don't submit to the authority of that leader, then you're gonna stay where you are.
And sometimes that leader will have you do tough things, right? They'll have you do stuff that don't make sense to you, but that's why they're the leader, right? They know, and if they study you enough, they know what you need. They'll
Oh
know
yeah.
that I want you to do this hard thing. I want to see what you really made of. You know, all kind of things, right? And that's like you're saying, the whole coach thing. Like, you know, you got to know what you're made of. Because how can I ask for somebody else if I'm coaching them for them to do it and I'm not willing to do it? I think that same way with therapy. Sometimes I ask my clients to do things. It ain't right if you ain't willing to do it yourself,
Hello.
but you want them to do something that will be difficult for you. Baby, you do it. Do it along with them.
I'm telling you, yes. That was what else did I do? I did something else. And I saw like, oh, that's the thing. My daughter plays softball.
Hmm.
There's no way because I used to yell at her all the time and all that. I've stopped doing that because it was like, first of all, you never played softball before. And now, if you want to go out there and yell at her and all that, get out there on the field now and at least try to do what she's doing. And then come back over here and see how it feels to be yelled at and critiqued on every little thing that you do.
Hmm.
So if you don't want to get out there on the field and do what she's doing, you never did it before, be quiet. If it's not anything encouraging, don't say anything to her
That's
because she is doing some serious work.
hmm that's maturity, right? That's a mature way of looking at it. And if more people looked at things that way, it'd be less of the downing other people, you know. Because guess what? If you're not going to do it yourself, if you're not going to even try it, you have no need to put your mouth on somebody else. Because even if they're doing their worst, they're doing it
Well, and people really are doing the best that they can. You know what I'm saying? They're doing the best they
sometimes.
can. No, yeah, majority of the times they're doing the best that they can. I'm
Right.
not saying every person, but majority of people they really are doing the best that they can. It
Yeah.
might not be how you can, but it's how they can.
Yeah.
And so, like we're saying, I can't tell a single parent how to live their life. I've never been a single parent.
Mm.
And if I'm not willing to step over there and walk in that role, then I need to take 5 steps back. Now, I'm not saying that I can't offer them advice if they come to me for it, but
Right.
what I'm saying is I don't need to think for 1 second that I have the role to critique somebody about how they are running their life when I've never stepped into those shoes myself.
Right. And then that's when you bring in other people, right? That's other people who have had that experience
Right.
that you trust, you know,
Mhm.
that would be vulnerable and transparent and open to share, you know. That's where connection comes in.
Right. And then you need that because you also don't want everybody to think that you just think you know everything,
Exactly.
you know. So I think it is important that if you host something like that or you talk about something like that, that you bring somebody on that has personal experience in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And then like we're saying, the people who truly are doing what they can, they hear that, they lock into it, and now they are like 5 steps ahead of where they were.
So that's what I see for you. What I was wanting to do or thought I wanted to do, but it's not my ministry. Children are is your ministry.
Mm-hmm.
Every age range, right, of parenting with children, from adult children on down to in utero.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I could see that, right? You
Mm-hmm.
having some type, I don't know what it is, but dealing with every age bracket.
Doing prenatal classes, sitting them down, talking to them about what to expect, but mentally though, like and that's the thing. I never had anybody when I was that age, when I was pregnant, sitting down with me and mentally preparing me, like doing yoga sessions with me if I wanted that, just
Hmm.
really preparing me to welcome my daughter into this world.
Yeah. And what, not so much to expect, but what, is best for you as mom who is carrying, right? Or
Your feelings,
mom and dad, right?
yeah,
How much y'all impact the baby that is in the womb, right? And
yeah.
then we got the toddlers and
Ooh.
preteens and all of that. So there's something for everyone, even in your counseling, right? There's something for every age
Mm-hmm.
bracket.
I agree. I agree. It's so much of a need of that. Um, you'll be amazed at how many people you tell them ABC. Like last week was talking about steps, about sit down and having a conversation with your significant other if you have one. Write down the disciplinary plan and then going and talking to your child about it and then implementing it. Like some people don't even know how to start like that.
Yeah, yeah. It's such a need for the parenting skills. Like, I think they've gone out the window. These these parents nowadays, I'll be like, what kind of parenting is that? Now I know it's different from when I had a child. I get it, right? But how the kids running you?
It's even past the gentle parenting phase. Parents ain't even gentle parenting no more.
No,
They just not parenting.
that part. They're non-existent.
Not parenting. And we have to normalize parenting again.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with my mama, she was just too much of a parent. Like and so they was like, okay, fall back, give the kids 50 feet. And then it just went to children doing whatever they want. So it's on the other end now.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The children be running the household. I'll be like, I'm probably more in your mama's age range, of how she parented. Now I was probably that way with my son, but with my daughter, I was more because it was just me and her one on one. So that was a little different. She was with me everywhere, attached to my hip. Everywhere I went. I went to work. She sat there and, was at work with me. And yeah, so we weren't, but I'd never let it become a friendship. It never
Right.
was a, she knew who the mama was,
Oh,
right?
that was a hard boundary. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Very hard. Very
Yes.
hard. I will have,
Yes.
that's something I was like, nope, won't happen here. Um, and I'm grateful for that. You
Yeah.
know, to this day, she respects that boundary, and it works for me, for us.
Yeah.
But you don't see that nowadays. You see a lot of
Well,
friendships.
friendships, a lot of, or it's either friendships or it's just the kids just that they just doing whatever they want to do, telling their parents they hate them and all these things. Like, it's just totally, it's totally, and then but then as the parent, you hear your child say that they hate you. And see, back in the day, I would be afraid to even fix my lips to say anything like that, but now we got children feeling like they need to express themselves and
Yeah.
all that. So now they do it, they express themselves, but they do it in a very damaging and hurtful way. So
Yep.
now, as the parent, instead of backslapping them, you have to learn how to sit down and now talk to them.
About your feelings,
Yeah.
what's happening with you. See, yeah, I couldn't have children in this era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
It's
mean, yeah, I can only imagine. So that's why I have grandkids that I can send on their way. Yep.
because you're competing with social media as well.
Yep.
We didn't have that.
Yep.
So I didn't know what was going on in your house because it wasn't all over the world for people to see. But
Yep.
now you got all this stuff. So now you got kids coming to you talking about they want to go to the Bahamas and swim with the pigs because they've been seeing it on on these shows. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. You need to come back down to reality.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's just very different.
It's a whole different dynamic, and God knew when to birth me so that mine was, because I wouldn't have did very well in this generation. Yeah, no, not parenting.
It's very different.
Whew. Yeah, but you have the grace for it. You do it and you do it well. And
Well, thank you.
people need to see that is possible, right? That I can still be the parent and still allow some autonomy, with my child, right? I don't have to be a dictator, but I still am the parent and she knows it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. She knows that for
Hmm.
sure. And she definitely knows James is the parent. So, we really do try our best to make that very clear that we are her parents and that we respect each other in this household, period.
Hmm. Yeah. So you're gonna do well in that space, that counseling space with children and their parents. I think you're gonna do more with the parents than
With the cheerings. Cheerings is easy.
because it really is getting the parents on board.
On board.
Right? It's because when they go home, it's the parents who are not being consistent or who are doing these things that you really got to teach. Because if you can teach them, then they can teach their own children.
And they can encourage their children.
Mm-hmm.
And they will feel like, oh, well, Sheonta said that this is what we're doing. So they won't feel like it's just out. Because I think when I started changing, my parenting style and all that with Kaden, you know, having people in my corner kept me going forward. And the people who weren't in my corner and that was saying all this stuff made me feel like I was doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so you definitely have to have a support group for this. I will have to have a parenting support group for sure.
Oh, well, so you're write that down, right? That's a part of it, right? Parenting support group. You're gonna get the outline. Maybe that's why he wants to talk to you, so that you can get the whole outline of what all you're going to incorporate. It's going to be incorporated, you know. Even if you teach at the schools, it's going to be, I mean, not teach, but do the counseling at the school, it's going to be beyond that, right? Because then
Oh yeah.
your church is going to find out, and then you're going to have to do stuff at the church, right? And then who knows where else. Because where do you see programs like that? You don't see programs with parenting anymore. It used to be a thing.
That's what I'm saying. Parenting is like non-existent. And these kids are running amok, and then parents are embarrassed to even talk about it. So now you feel like you're the only one, and then you feel like, no, this is a thing going on right now.
Yep. Yep.
But if you don't have the programs to help you feel normal, and that like life is life, but this is normal. But we do, just because this is normal, it doesn't mean that it has to stay that way. Like you have to figure out how now, okay, this is a product of us not being parents. So now we need to set a standard of becoming parents. Now, what does that look like?
That's why I say you're gonna be working with the parents a lot
Mm-hmm.
because you're really educating them
Yeah. The children are only how does someone put it to me? They're only a product.
by products. Yep. Hmm.
Yeah, they're byproducts of what you. It's the production of you. So
Hmm.
if you look at your child and you see them acting a certain way, then more than likely it's because of how they've been taught or not taught.
There, and that's a big part. Not taught. Right.
Yes,
It's not always the talk. It's the
it's
well, I
not.
was taught.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have to stand up because that's why the Bible has charged us as parents to train them up.
Yeah.
We have that charge
Hmm.
to teach them.
I think that's my son was not taught, and my daughter was taught.
Hmm.
My son kind of raised himself. Me and my husband at the time was like working, right? Like we had our own business. Then I ended up going to school, and so he ended up kind of raising himself. And then Cheryl would take him sometimes, like on maybe twice a month or so, So he had to learn on his own. But it is so funny how that is because that's how he's been able to maintain in Hawaii, right? That's how he was able to maintain in the Navy by himself. My daughter applied and she didn't go because I think upbringing was different, right? Like she would have had a hard time, I think.
It was more of the codependency.
Hmm. Yeah. So it, it's like the Bible said, everything happens for a reason. And
Hmm.
not that I wanted my son to raise himself. It just was where we were at the time, right? Where both of us were horrible marriage, uh so into trying to look like the Joneses and have what the Joneses had, that we pretty much just skipped over raising him.
And that's the most important part.
Yeah. That's why
That is
I'm,
the most
yeah,
important part.
some of the stuff now he is just getting,
Yeah.
but I'm glad he's getting it at 32.
Yeah, I was about to say at least he's open and receptive to
Hmm.
getting it.
Hmm.
So that
Yeah.
that's gonna put him ahead.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that it's good. I think that it's good to even have panels talk about this stuff too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It has to
Definitely. You
be
need that.
normalized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Cause then we and cause I had got to the point where I was like, I'm so afraid like when she gets older, she's gonna go and be like, you scarred me for doing blah 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 blah. But if we can raise a standard where children feel respected and parents feel heard, you know, then I feel like you won't have to worry about hearing that because the battle you've won that battle.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
And my son was scarred, like scarred. Yeah.
Hmm.
And so he's just now learning how to forgive and how to really just grow from that place. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful
Yeah,
for the mending part of that. Um, but some scars are deep, you know, and it impacts even the way they move in life. And
oh
so
yeah,
I just want him to get healed as much as possible. He don't have any children. Well, his girlfriend has a child, and so that's his child. um but when before he has any biological children, so that it's like that video I sent you, right? Like,
oh
children really just show you those areas within you that still need healing, or that maybe you haven't healed, right? That's what children come along for, because you get a chance to see yourself. Wow, this is what I needed when I was younger, or yeah. And so you try to meet those needs and be better than what you.
I think that is absolute. That video was so powerful and impactful that you sent me. It just really spoke volumes because it really made me take a look at, like you're saying, if you do to your child what was done to you and you don't get a good response, then you're looking at how you felt when it was done to you.
Hmm.
And now you are that's what you know, so you're doing it, but that don't mean that it's right.
Mm.
Especially if you look at your child and they shut down and they closed off and they doing all of this. That was you.
There you go. Yep.
And how did you feel in that situation? You were afraid, you were scared, you felt helpless. Is that how you want your child to feel?
Right. Yeah.
You know?
You have to have that awareness, right? That's
I was
why
just
that video was so key, but I don't think many
mhm.
people will even view it, and even
Yep.
understand it because it was deep.
I think that even before you start having children, you need to have that awareness. Because if not, hurt people, and you're going to end up hurting your child versus looking at your child and being like, oh, I'm hurting here.
Yeah.
This is an area I need to work on. I'm being triggered.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So let me work on this. But you won't even get to that point unless you're aware that that's what's happening.
Yeah. And that's what it's about, right? It really is about you working on you.
Marriages and parenting. Marriages and parenting.
Yeah, and for me, and that's the crazy thing, I guess, because I've done my parenting, that the marriage piece is now like, okay, yep, I still got some stuff I need to work on you with in that marriage, right? And so we're gonna get it in some aspect, whether you single, married, divorced, whatever. He has something that he's still trying to work out within you, and he gonna send the right people to be able to bring it out. It's will you be aware enough to see that, catch it, and then, like, if you're triggered, it's not about them at all, right? It's all about me. Why am I triggered? Let me
Why
do
am I triggered?
work. Yeah, that lets me know I still have some healing to do.
Mm, mm. Wow.
Yeah.
You're
Hmm. All right, well, any words
right.
of wisdom
Oh, words of wisdom.
or maybe takeaways from tonight's pour it out, however you want to go.
I will take away that your children are the gateway to your soul healing. They're the gateway. Like they are truly gifts from above. And if you look at your children for what they're supposed to be instead of what you want them to be,
Mm-hmm.
then your life will be forever changed through the gift that God gave you through your child.
That's so profound what you said. Um, and so many look at what they want their children to be, right? And they didn't go in the route in which I want them. They did this and they're that and all of that, instead of looking like God just used you as a vessel to birth them, right? To bring them in this world. And He has the ultimate say, He has the purpose, you know, for them. It's not about you, but
Not at
it
all.
is about you so that you can learn about you through them.
Right.
It's
Through them.
That's mind-boggling to me because all of that, he works all of that at the same time.
Hmm. You from the moment your child is conceived until one of you all leave this earth, the parent is always in a servant role, especially the mother for their child.
Mm.
You're carrying the child, that's serving them. You're looking at them and seeing how you can best serve them, which in turn is changing you. Because you have to begin to know your child and know what triggers them and what sets them off and what makes them feel good. And then you have to start acting that out. That's servanthood. And it's not about how you want to serve them. I don't care if you feel like getting up every morning at 5 a.m. and making them breakfast is what is going to help them. They don't want it. Have you ever thought about that?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Trying to give them what you may have wanted. Mm-hmm.
That's it. And then now you're doing this stuff And again, now you're looking at what you need to be to make you feel good about yourself,
Mm-hmm.
but you need to be what they need you to be. And that might not make you feel good about yourself because it's going to challenge you. And it's going to, again, it's going to break you. It's going to that pick up my cross, deny yourself. You're going to deny yourself. My daughter likes to play games. I hate playing games. But I want to go to the movies. But my daughter wants to play board games.
Mm. So you play board game.
So I have to deny myself and play the board game.
Yeah. Mm. That's what servanthood is, right? Mm.
And we said that your home is the first ministry, which means that you should be serving those in your home and they should feel a servant spirit on you before you even go out and try to serve anybody else. If your home don't feel a servant in you, then you're a hypocrite when you go out here in the world and try to be a servant.
Right. You might as well sit on down.
Just sit on down.
Mm-hmm.
Have several seats, boo boo.
Mm. Yeah. You just checked me a little bit.
Oh, I'm checking myself.
I
See,
know, right?
sit down and have this conversation. He said,
I know,
okay, I'm
right?
ready to come on down now.
It just, things just start. Yeah, you helping them couples, but what you doing, right? Are you really being a servant in your own marriage? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's constant. That's why I say that parenting and that marriage, that's why they're the first ministry.
Mm-hmm.
Because they teach you everything that you need to go out there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Whew, okay. Well, we at an hour and a half almost again. I think it just never fails. It never fails. Good thing we're on earlier so that we can do the hour and a half.
Yeah, it works
Yeah.
because shoot, we'll be on here till 10 o'clock at night.
Man, if we really kept going. Mm-hmm.
We could, but this was good. It's a form of therapy in itself.
It is. Yeah.
hmm
We went around the world to all kind of things. But
We did.
mhm, I think the themes were servanthood,
Clarity,
humbling, yeah,
humility,
expansion,
hmm
yeah,
and parenting.
and parenting and marriage.
Marriage. Yep.
We didn't talk a lot about marriage, but yeah,
We
that's a
hit.
part of
Yeah.
it. Okay. Well, we'll be back next week. We don't know
We'll
what
be
we
back
talk
next
about,
week.
but it'll be good. It'll be all good.
It'll be good. So if you are struggling in your marriage or in parenting, or just in finding clarity, hit us up. We can help you through
Mm-hmm.
that. That's the part that is the um point of pour it out. We
Mm-hmm.
want to provide that space for you to feel comfortable pouring it out, for you to feel comfortable reaching out.
Absolutely. And share, and hit the bell. So, when we had that cold snap, I had ordered my stuff for the actual podcast stuff, right?
Yeah.
They never delivered it. So they gave me
No.
a refund and I never ordered because I think I want to upgrade and do something a little bit higher end, but
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't in the budget. So we're going to wait till it's in the budget and I will get something, but because I do want to have like the noise maker and stuff like that. But until then, it's all good. Y'all can still come on. This is a safe space. Y'all see I cried on today. I was vulnerable and you know, hey, it's all good, right? That's what Pour It Out is about. You should be able to have a space to where you can do that. And it's not many places that you can do that. I know most people can do it in therapy. Now you can do it on Pour It Out,
Mm-hmm.
maybe amongst your friend groups. I don't know because, and this is a whole nother topic, and I'm gonna be done. But I think a lot of friend groups don't allow for that. I don't know how many people really get in depth, right? Like really bond to that degree. I think it's a lot of surface friendships now. So this is a place. If you don't have, because a lot of people are with this no new friend stuff. I don't know why, but you know, you need friends. You
You
need
do.
friends, right? And so if you don't have friends, come on here, pour it out, and you can, comment. You can ask questions and just pour it out with us.
Yeah, we'll be more than happy to answer your
Hmm.
questions.
Okay, so we'll be back. What are we gonna do? Are we gonna be 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock. I mean 6 o'clock your time.
6 worked well for me.
Okay, so we'll be back. We're gonna try to stick, except for that one time a month where I have to do 5:15 or 6:15 your time because I got that one client. So,
Or
huh?
you
Huh?
gotta work.
I have to work, and yeah. So that's just once a month, though. Other than that, we'll be on at 5 CST, 6 EST. All
Hmm.
right, y'all. So thank y'all. Don't forget, like, share, and hit the bell for more of this poured out content. All right. So we love y'all.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.